What up, y'all? James Hancock here. I should probably come up with another way to start my videos than "What up, y'all" each time. So, hey, how you doing? If you noticed, I am starting in a different place than where I finished last time because I decided just to mess around a little bit and go back to the catacombs where I found the Darkmoon seance ring just to confirm whether or not there was any gear behind that sarcophagus where I found it. In the previous video, I had said there was something that I thought, but I was totally wrong. So now I'm going back to Anor Londo, just a different bonfire, going down to the the Darkmoon room, putting on the Darkmoon seance ring, which I found in the catacombs, in order to unlock this covenant. This covenant's super duper cool, and if you gather a whole bunch of items for it, or kill a bunch of people in PvP, you'll get the Darkmoon Blade, which is a killer spell. Just makes your weapon look awesome, turns it purple, but it's hard to gather all the mats you need for the spell at this stage in the game's development because there's not a lot of PvP going on anymore. There is an alternative, though. You can go into the Painted World of Ariamis and kill these horrible bird creatures, and they've got an okay drop rate. But if you take your humanities up to 10, the drop rate gets a little better. And then if you put on that gold ring, that helps with drops that we found in Sin's Fortress, I believe. Yeah, that can also increase the drop rate. So there are some things you can do to rig the system. So if you really want to have the Darkmoon Blade in Dark Souls 1, this is the first step you take by joining this covenant. Later on, we'll be coming back and walking through this fog gate and fighting this girl. But for now, we're getting the blue eye orb, which allows us to, as long as we're in this room, to invade other players who are in Anor Londo, which is why you get so many invasions when you're trying to play Anor Londo, is because you have all these guys here trying to farm their mats. But we are going just to experiment with a little bit, and I'm not going to tell you what happens yet, but I do actually do my first Darkmoon PvP during this video. And so, like I said, I was just going to mess around and try and confirm whether or not that piece of gear is behind the sarcophagus, but as soon as I got into this, I got a little carried away, and so it turned into kind of a beginning of a video. I don't really do that much besides enter the Painted World of Ariamis in this video, but the PvP is a nice surprise. So there's a blue eye orb. You can use it to invade the world of a guilty player. These are people typically who are guilty of some infraction, usually from dropping one covenant and joining another without going about it the right way. But I'm going to go into fast forward because my plan was to go to the Painted World of Ariamis. See, as you can tell, my invasion canceled as soon as I left the room. So you got to stay in that room. So it can be pretty boring. So bring a book or play on the internet. But I decided just to run through here, go to this big, gorgeous painting, and I was like, wait a second, I should have gone through there. Because I went back, if you remember, to the Undead Settlement where I fought the Stray Demon? But what I didn't realize was that I didn't look in one little room back there after killing him, which is where I find it. Now, I equipped the ring from the Darkmoon Blade, or the Blade of the Darkmoon, and as a result of that, I am going to get pulled into a PvP match. So when I saw that, I was like, hey, I've done no PvP of any kind in this walkthrough. Figured, why not? So I'm officially invading another world of another player. So not very nice, but fuck it. They must have done something bad or I wouldn't be invading. So hold on to your horses, and you're about to see some Anor Londo PvP. So yeah, looking cool and blue. And Scumbag Grizz, he and I give him a little bow, which is very courteous. He gives me a kind of a showboat pose. In general, you don't want to start fighting until everyone's had a chance to do a little role play. And I don't know anything about PvP. I just wing it. But I also know that my spell, Soul Spear, if you catch it full in the face, it will fuck you up. So yeah, 2 Soul Spears, and he's dead. I give him a little bow, and that is the power of Soul Spear. I mean, sorcery, it's not necessarily what people go to for PvP because it's real easy to dodge at a distance. Someone's shooting spells at you, you can just jump. And I know in Dark Souls 3, there are not a lot of people doing it, but it worked there because I think he was just not expecting it, but he should have been because I'm a clothy. But that souvenir reprisal that I got is the item you want to farm for working on your Darkmoon Blade. And I might, while not recording, or I'll probably record, but outside of the walkthrough, maybe do some more PvP. The reason I'm fast forwarding right now is because I was just looking up what I need to do to unlock the Painted World of Ariamis. And so then I realized my mistake I'd made. So you cannot teleport back to the original Undead Settlement. That's what it's called. Whatever the starting zone is. So I got to go back there on foot. I also stopped and talked to that cleric because his homies are gone, and I'll be seeing them soon in the Tomb of the Giants. If you hear me yawning just a teeny bit, it is because it is 2:45 a.m. It's been kind of a long day, and I went and saw this killer flick, Udo and the Two Strings, or it's Kudo and the Two Strings, the new Leica animated film that opened tonight. And I wrote a review, which you can find on geekin.nyc. But if you're into animation and kind of epic adventure stories, I highly recommend it. It's got this, the middle part of it. All right, so that peculiar doll that I just picked up, that's what allows me to go through the painting. So just got to run back, so bear with me a little bit. But Kudo and the Two Strings is this classic mythological adventure story, and with magic and deities, and it takes place in kind of an Asian environment, but so damn cool looking. Awesome music. You got this great version of While My Guitar Gently Weeps by the Beatles, and the Beatles is my all-time favorite group. So, yeah, I was a fan. So I think it's been a pretty light summer in terms of big blockbuster movies. There hasn't been one that I really liked since Captain America Civil War, which I saw 5 times. I really loved it. But, Warcraft wasn't awesome by any stretch of the imagination. Ghostbusters, not at all. Suicide Squad had its flaws. Batman v Superman had its flaws. So I was ready for a nice big blockbuster. Here I am getting sucked into the painting. I love that shit. Dark Souls is so weird and so cool. So yeah, if you feel like you got shortchanged this summer, go see Kudo and the Two Strings. So here I am in Painted World of Ariamis. Because it's late, I'm going to make a few mistakes. That's me looking back just to show. If you try to leave by walking back, you just fall and die. And once you're in here, you're stuck here until you clear it. You don't have to kill the final boss to get out of here, but you do have to kill a lot of ads to get out. So, but we're going to kill the boss just because. Why not? I see someone that could be summoned there because I was already here. Just to try to summon them, but I wasn't able to light the bonfire. So I give up on the Phantom and we do a quick reset and then come back in because I really want the bonfire to be lit in case I die, because this place is full of all sorts of treacherous, horrible things that will probably kill you many, many times. Hang on, quick water break. Yeah, that's good. Anyway, sometimes if someone's invading you, or sometimes if you're trying to summon someone, you can't activate a bonfire. So this is me just logging out, back in, get the bonfire going so I can begin one of my favorite zones. It's not a very big zone, but has a lot of variety, a lot of shortcuts, a lot of hidden passageways, a lot of gear, a lot of spells. It is absolutely worth exploring. I'm going to put in a few humanities into this bonfire, take it to 15. I've been spending my humanities pretty recklessly, but whatever. I like having lots of flasks while I play. And when I need to finally farm my 30 humanities to unlock the shortcut toward the end, I'll probably just show a small fraction of that and do the rest of that off the video, because you do not need to watch me kill, 50 fucking rats or 100 rats in order to farm 30 humanities. So the hollows here, they're just hollows, but they like to gang up. And there are a lot of hollows here in weird spots, whether they have a bow and arrow or whether they're around corners. So just be aware of the fact there's hollows all over this place, and they hit hard and they start whacking, but at this point you should know how to fight them pretty well. I'm having trouble getting my backstabs for some reason. But there's one right there. Look at all that blood. Skadoosh. Love it. And I just gotta get back in the habit of doing melee. I've gotten way too complacent just blasting spells. If you look above me, there is a body with a piece of gear, and I missed it on this part, but I'm going to come back through and get it in a few seconds. But the thing you should be aware of in this early part is there are these giant, tumor, toxin, disgusting monster creatures. I don't know what the hell they're called, but if you kill them and you're close to them, they pop and they spill this toxic shit all over you. And it's just like getting hit by those fucking needles in Blighttown, except for it's automatic. It takes you all the way up. And if you don't have remedy or one of those mosses for getting rid of it, you just gotta suck it up. So there he is. And like I said, if you shoot them when you're close, they just pop and they get shit all over you. So this is me being an idiot. I ran right into it, got toxic. And if you kill them with fire, there's no toxicity. But I might be remembering that wrong. It's been a good 9 months since I did my first pyromancy run through of Dark Souls. But I remember just pyromancy having some advantages. I think that's one. But at any rate, I don't have any pyromancy, so I just gotta stand back, shoot them, and then not run through. Goddamn, I apologize for all this stupid yawning. Like the last 2 videos I've done so late at night because I like to upload my videos while I'm sleeping because they kind of chew up on my bandwidth. But sometimes, I mean, if it's 3 in the morning I'm recording, I get the occasional involuntary yawn, even if I'm totally fired up and engaged with what I'm doing. Once again, just hollows all around. Because it's so late, I do some really sloppy, kind of lazy gameplay, but I do manage to clear a decent amount of this area before the end of this video, and I save a big chunk of it, actually 2 big chunks of it for my next video. Now, if you see off in the distance these like giant like bird creatures hovering on rooftops, it's because those are the things that you can farm. Oh my god, I just realized while watching the video that I didn't pick up that piece of gear in the corner. So I'm going to have to come back and get that. Those guys will come over and attack, but you have to pick up the gear in the corner, and because it's late at night and I'm stupid and lazy, I overlooked it, so I dropped down here and grabbed this instead. But no worries, because I will be coming back here tomorrow. It's actually kind of good not recording live while I do the videos, because I notice so much shit that I forgot to do after the fact, because I'm observing and commentating, and yeah, I guess there's advantages to doing it both ways. These guys will poison you, so be careful. My mistake was I let myself get trapped between a hollow and the rat, and I'm just fucked. Yeah, I don't know how that happened, but I got toxic. Oh, they don't have poison. The rat's toxic here. So anyway, I got trapped. I died. It's embarrassing. It sucks, but it's late, and shit happens. I feel like this whole video, no matter what stupid things I do, it was worth it to get that little PvP moment where I just I don't know, I can't even think of a proper expression. I put the epic smackdown on that poor guy, and yeah, just 2 spells and he was done for. So it might be worth it for me just to indulge in a little PvP. If people are going to die that quickly and that easily, who knows, maybe I could farm my Darkmoon blade pretty easily. It's just that as a sorcerer, I use melee so rarely that it's not even really worth it. Like, there are some people that just do enough sorcery to have like a few little buffs, but then they just play like a normal melee guy because they like Darkmoon blade. I mean, Darkmoon blade in Dark Souls 3 is unbelievable. But for PvE, as a sorcerer, having Darkmoon blade's not going to be that useful because I'm going to be killing most of the bosses with ranged attacks. That's just how I'm going to be playing it through. So I don't want to invest too much time into that because it's just not going to be worth it. Because like I'm trying to get back to Dark Souls 3. Here's one thing interesting. I heard that on Wednesday there's going to be a big announcement about when we can expect the first DLC for Dark Souls 3. So I'm really looking forward to Wednesday, hearing that announcement, kind of figuring out what it's all about, because once we have that information, then we can I can kind of start like planning my schedule for how I want to do my my various walkthroughs leading up to, because I want to make sure that I'm 100% done with Dark Souls 1, 2, and 3 all. God, that's got toxic. At this point, I just decided, you know what, I'm just going to roll with it. I've got 17 flasks. It'll just be a constant, like, you know, pain in the ass, but I'll just work with it. But yeah, I mean, look how slow it ticks off, and like in terms of like losing the buff or the debuff. But yeah, your health just drops. But anyway, going back to the whole schedule thing, I'm hoping they say that the Dark Souls expansion or DLC doesn't come out for a few more months, because that'll give me more than enough time to do Dark Souls 1, 2, and 3, my walkthroughs, and be totally up to speed. I forgot to climb the walls. The big thing here is that hollows like to climb up the walls, and they will tear you up. So just be careful. But I lost my train of thought. I remember, I think what happened with Dark Souls 2 was that they released the DLCs, like they staggered them, and they came out a little bit apart, and then they came out with the big, like, all-in-one expansion pack, Scholar of the First Sin. And it was when Scholar of the First Sin came out that I finally got really, really invested in the Dark Souls community. When Scholar of the First Sin came out, it came at the perfect time, because I'd already bought Dark Souls 2 before, so it was easy to buy the expansion pack. But I was listening to an interview with filmmaker Alex Garland, who was talking about his film Ex Machina, and he was talking about what a rabid gamer he is and how much he loved Dark Souls. and how much he loved the customization and playing it through different ways. And that was a real eye-opener for me, and that was when I just said, fuck it, I'm going to look up a walkthrough, figure out how to play Dark Souls 2. I actually was watching a walkthrough of Dark Souls 2 prior to the expansion pack, so it was a little different. It wasn't quite exact, but it was close enough that I could kind of figure out how the game works. And so I'm forever indebted to Jumpin' Productions for getting me through those early stages, because once I got into Dark Souls 2, I was totally hooked. And what was cool about discovering Dark Souls 2 first was that because I think it's the weakest of the three, but I was still having a blast. Like, it is an awesome game, judged objectively. The only reason people give Dark Souls 2 a little shit is that it's just not as good as fucking Dark Souls 3. I mean, sorry, Dark Souls 1 nor 3. So in the final analysis, it is the weakest of the three. But if you play it first, it's an awesome gaming experience. And I've probably logged in more hours in Dark Souls 2 than any of the three games, just because I spent a couple months just geeking out on Dark Souls 2, clearing it in a variety of different ways on a variety of different tunes, even cleared on New Game Plus and New Game Plus Plus. I just absolutely loved it. So I know that game probably better than the other two in terms of the spells and the gear and the shortcuts. I've just spent so much time there. This is me just showing off some of the gear I just found. It's one of my favorite gear sets. It's actually a really, really good light armor set, but I'm in love with this little outfit that I've created, so that's what I'm sticking with, especially now that I'm starting to invest some twinkling titanite into upgrading the pieces. But it's time to start on the hands or legs pretty soon. So moving on, what am I doing next? I think I'm going to go look for that piece of gear I see hanging. Yeah, so if you cut, there are a couple different spots where if you cut the rope, gear will fall down below. I'm going to be going down there pretty soon and grabbing that. Down in that courtyard, there's a shortcut down to the area below with all the horrible pinwheels, and there's the long way down, and I will be showing both ways. I mean, this is one, like I said, one of my favorite areas in the game, so I will be showing every single square inch. At this point, I was just trying to figure out what can I do before the toxic makes all my health and flash run out. What's realistic, and also what could I do while my energy and concentration still lasts? Because I realized while I was making this video, I was going to have to edit and do commentary and post and do a lot of things, and I was like, God damn, it's going to be 4 in the morning before I'm done with all this shit. So, but that is all right. I love it. I'm having an absolute blast creating this walkthrough, and I'm really looking forward to just having once I have a complete guide to Dark Souls 1, 2, and 3, it's just going to be so much fun to be like, this is my epic journey through this narrative, playing as a sorcerer. For me, there's so many gaming experiences that I've had, both with like tabletop RPGs or World of Warcraft, where there's just no record of what I experienced apart from my memories or maybe like a few things. But with Dark Souls 1, 2, and 3, once I've created these 3 walkthroughs, I'll at least have a video record of all the knowledge and skill that I accumulated playing these games. So no matter how few or how many people watch it, I think it's well worth my time. Right, this guy, he shoots a lot of disgusting shit, as you can see. You do not want to stand in it, but otherwise he's pretty goddamn easy to kill. All you gotta do is just walk toward him, pick up some gear, and he'll charge at you. But I think he's pretty much identical to, or very similar to, the dragon that I found basically in that weird little shortcut between New Londo Ruins and the fast way down to Blighttown. That little area with the drakes that you can explore. So I'm just walking down here. This is a shortcut to get to the boss of the Painted World of Ariamis. I'm not going to fight her yet. But if you do a jumping attack and hit the dragon, he stands up. I don't know how someone figured that out. I don't know what Dark Souls was thinking when they created that. But if you want to get through the shortcut, you got to do a flying jump attack, and he will stand up. And it's just one of those weird little idiosyncrasies of the game. Now, you got to be careful in this tower. It's really, really full of these horrible bird people. But personally, I don't mind fighting the horrible bird people because the horrible bird people have those tokens that will allow me to get the Darkmoon blade. So, come one, come all. I will fight as many as the game chooses to send my way. Fall damage is also a very real threat down here. I mean, as you're exploring this tower, there's a lot of places to fall, and because I recognize that danger, what I do is I decide to go ahead and run through the white light, because I'm going to open up the major shortcut of Painted World of Ariamis, which is the gate toward the front, so I don't constantly have to walk through that opening area again, even though I do need to go through the opening area again because there is a little item on the top of that tower in the corner, which I will be getting tomorrow as soon as I do the second half of my video of this area. So now that's open, and I've got a lot of access to a lot of different areas. I'm not going to go down below yet at all, but I do want to pick up a few items in the courtyard. That's the one that fell from the window that I hit. These slimy dudes with spears and shields are the shortcut to farming souls. They are the fastest shortcut for farming souls in the game by far. And the way you do it, I'm saying this, and I can't even do it on this character, the most powerful pyromancy spell basically sets off this nuclear explosion on the ground in a tight clustered area. And so what Gayfer Games, which is G-H-E-Y, what Gayfer Games taught me about how to farm souls is you put on a bunch of heavy armor so you can't get moved around. You walk up in the middle of all of them, you drop your nuclear bomb attack on the ground, and you basically kill all of them, and then you pick off the few remaining ones, and then you go back to the bonfire, reset, and then you do it again. And you can farm just hundreds of thousands of souls in a very, very short period of time. But in that I don't wear the heavy gear, and I don't have any pyromancy spells, and I haven't jacked up my glove, I will not be demonstrating that technique this playthrough. But if you watch the Gayfer Games, I think it's called the Dark Souls Complete Guide, they showed that. And on my first successful playthrough through Dark Souls, I definitely took advantage of it a while, but just because I was nervous about not having enough skill or power to get through, and I decided to overpower my character. I'm just looking at the item, trying to remember how to get to it, but as soon as I remember how to get to it, I move on. But that is going to have to wait for the next video. I will be getting it. Goddamn, this toxicity is still going. I mean, toxicity like this, I don't know if there's anything as nasty as this in Dark Souls 3, but I don't remember anything like hitting me quite as badly as this. So quick jump. I'm just going to run back up and around because I'm going to go to the top of the tower and then bring the video to a close. At the top of the tower is something for invading people. I think it's like the red tearstone, or not tearstone, red ivorstone. Red soapstone, I think is what it is. Red soapstone basically is a lot like the white soapstone, but it's for fighting with people instead of co-oping with people. So if you are careful, you can just kind of pull the bird people down to you and take them out as you go. I kind of screwed up because fatigue and stupidity and confusion are a factor at this point, as you can tell from my meandering voice. But yeah, these guys, they will tear you up, and even worse, you can, as you're fighting them, you can fall. So I tend to like to find a safe area, kind of nestled between the wall and the stairs in order to fight them. The problem is, if you get nestled in there, it's easy to get trapped when you're fighting them, as you are about to see. But I've also got 28,000 souls, which is enough to pass a level, so I want to make sure I don't lose those souls, because that would make me mad. So where are these fuckers? They drop in any second. All right, so here comes one. And I made the mistake of choosing a big fat slow spell, and that's where things start to go bad. Although I did hit them with the spell. So yeah, they like to whack you, but they've got some special attacks. Somehow, by some miracle, I didn't fall to my death there. He drops down. But then I think another one comes in to join the fun. Where are they? Yep, one's on me. So yeah, now I got two of them on me, so I'm starting to panic. So I'm just trying to blast and roll, blast and roll. But you're about to see what can only be described as a butt attack. They basically jump up on you, wrap their legs around you like a porn star, and look at that. And I realized that the angle is so funny with the butt cheeks. I went right back down to that just to show it. But yeah, they've actually got some pretty nice buns. So if you are, a freak and like to see what those things look like when they're wrapping their legs around someone's head, now you know what it looks like. So it's a little erotic asphyxiation to help you forget the fact that something's like shoving needles in your head. There's another souvenir of reprisal. So yeah, I'm starting to actually get a few of those things. Now that I've actually got a few, it might be worth leveling up my Blade of the Darkmoon Covenant in this, because I've never successfully even gotten to 10, but it's like now that I've got a couple under my belt, why not? So anyway, I'll make up my mind about that tomorrow when I've had my coffee and a little sleep and I'm not speaking gibberish. So I'm being real paranoid and careful walking up this, because I see that motherfucker standing over there. He could fly over and attack me in a second. He just, for whatever reason, deciding not to. So the red sign soapstone is now mine. I don't know if I'll ever use it or not, but I'm a completist or completionist, whatever the word is. I don't know which one's right. And so now I've got it. So now it's time to run on back, level up, and now prepare to complete the rest of this Shiat. Tomorrow I slipped because I am dumb. And yeah, this video is just turning into a comedy of errors. If it wasn't for that PvP moment, I probably would have, I don't know, maybe tried to just redo this video, even though it wouldn't have worked because of like the picking up of the gear. So this is a lesson to me. Don't make videos late at night if I want to impress people with my skills and gameplay. But I hope you've enjoyed watching me make mistakes. I hope it's been informative, and I hope you subscribe and like my channel, all that good stuff. And definitely go see Kudo and the Two Strings. It is a very, very kick-ass movie, very worthy of your attention. So yeah, this is awesome. I'm just going to drop one of my slow spells and put on Remedy. I'm tired of getting toxified and not being able to do anything about it, which means I'll have slightly fewer attacks. I might break up the latter part of this into 2 sections. But yeah, time for me to take a bow, and good night, everybody. I will be back at y'all tomorrow, and I promise I'll do a better job with the next video. Thanks so much.